All right, we are recording. Hello, everybody. I see everyone coming in now. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Voiceover Network presents the Voiceover Hour, communicating like a champ with Jonathan Tilley. Or pow pow. How about? Welcome everyone. We got a few more coming in. That's great. Wonderful. So welcome members and non-members of the Voiceover, members of the Voiceover Network and non-members. We've got viewers coming in today from all around the world. Welcome, welcome. Before we get into introducing Jonathan and before we get started, we just want to see where everyone is listening in from. And also, can you hear us? Let's see. Adam says yes. Great. Hello. Hi, Adam. So we'll get a few people. Great. Can hear you. Wonderful. Where are we listening in from? Hi, Joe. This is good. All good. Everyone can hear us. Great. Great. Well, as you do, let us know where you're listening in from. That would be wonderful. Okay. Look, sunny Calgary. Can hear you. Great. Loud and clear. And Montreal. Wonderful. Hampton Hill, Orlando, that's good old Florida. Listening in from my car in transit back home, then we'll be on my comfy chair. Okay, Adam. And Guildford, Surrey, and London. Great. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We just want to let you know a little bit about the Voiceover Network for those of you who are non-members. This is an amazing community that includes voiceover artists of all levels of experience. We have agents, producers, casting directors, and the Voiceover Network is all about community and support and helping people. We do that by fantastic events, running workshops in person and online, the Buzz magazine, and lots of other outlets as well. So tonight, just so you guys know, share today throughout the webinar would be great. If you'd use the hashtag VonWebinar, VON webinar, that would be wonderful. And great. So hi, Jonathan.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the Voiceover Hour webinars. Jonathan is a voiceover. He's a personal brand strategist. I'm going to let you introduce yourself a bit for us today. Jonathan, please tell us your background and how you got started into branding.
Branding and personal brand strategizing.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for having me. It's an absolute pleasure always to be at the Voiceover Network for the Voiceover Hour, and it's just so great to be giving back to the community, and thank you for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
We'd love having you on.
Thanks. So yeah, a little bit about me for the people that don't know who I am. Hi, I'm Jonathan, and I am a personal brand strategist. I like to call myself, but I'm also a voiceover artist. So I've been doing voiceover since 2005, 6. Yeah, I just sort of fell into it because I live in Germany, and I've been over here in Germany for over 20 years, my goodness. And I used to be a musical theater performer, performing on stage in German productions of Mamma Mia, Cats, 42nd Street, Chorus Line, Dance of the Vampires. Because I was living in New York City, auditioning for these shows, or trying to get an audition for these shows, and wouldn't even be invited to the casting call. But in Germany, I got a little tour of a 6-month tour of 42nd Street tap dancing through Germany that brought me from New York City to Germany, and all the shows that were getting comfy, all the shows that were huge in New York City at the time, were being lifted up, planted in the UK, in London, and also in the German musical theater scene. And so for the shows that I couldn't even get an audition for in New York City, they're like, Jonathan, please come to this audition. You just need to show up and you probably get a job. I'm like, great, fantastic. So working with the creative team from Broadway, doing the Broadway shows, but just translated into German. I did 8 years straight of all these musical theater shows that I just love doing. And during the nights you're performing, but during the days you aren't really doing anything. You might have, a rehearsal here and there, but that rehearsal doesn't start until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
The whole day just to sit around, drink coffee, or just sleep in or watch movies. And people became like video game fanatics, but that's not my thing. And I was just like, I'm looking for something else to do. So in one of the productions that I was in, I can't even remember which one it was, in the sign-in board where you come into the stage door and you sign in and say that you're there, there was a piece of paper right next to the sign-in board saying, we're looking for native speakers. And I was like, what's that? What's a native speaker? So I gave them a call and I said, what's a native speaker? I'm open to see what else is out there in the world. I'm bored. I don't have to be at the theater at the earliest until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I want to do something with my day. They said, yeah, we're looking for native speakers, like voiceover artists. I'm like, oh man, I've never done that. But I work at the musical, so I've have acting training and singing training and went to university for that. So all right, I'll come in and do it. And I did not take it seriously at all. And I remember I went into the studio and I was of the mentality of, I was in the complete wrong mentality. I was like, I'm an American living in Germany, and in a German studio, you probably only record German things. Why would you ever need something in English? I'm not going to take this seriously. The only time I would take this seriously would be if I was in America or in an English-speaking country. But you want me to read this text, see Sally cross the street, watch James throw the ball, see Spot run. It was basically a CD, back then when they had CDs, of teaching German kids how to speak English. So I just went, okay. And I remember my very first voiceover job, paid job, was this. And I had my finger in my nose. I'm like, this is so boring. Like, why would you ever need me? There's no chance that I'm ever going to work as a voiceover artist again. Completely wrong mentality, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, thank you so much. That was a really good time, but you don't need me for this anymore. Like, thank you. That was very sweet, but I'll never see you again. Great time though. Thanks a lot. And I left. 3 months later, they called me back for the second CD. 2 months later, they called me back because another client heard the CD that he was cutting and said, oh, I need that type of voice. Can we get him in? So yeah, okay, great. 1 month later, and then I just keep getting work. Now, mind you, I had no demos. I had no clue what I was doing, and I just was winging it. And I was booking work with the studio. And then after a while, I really took a moment and I said, first of all, I'm sorry that I picked my nose during the first voiceover job here. And secondly, that I didn't take it really seriously. I truly did not believe that there would be a future in this. So would you mind if we spent like 10 minutes after the session, if you could just inform me a little bit about the voiceover world? Back then, we didn't have the VO network. We didn't have all these amazing coaches, giving these trainings. We didn't have the internet back then. Or if we did, it was very, very minimal and very slow.
Sure.
So slowly but surely, I would do the shows at night and then work on my voiceover career during the day. And little did I know that there were only 5, me included. There were 4 other guys and then me in Germany that spoke native US, so American voiceover artists living in Germany, working. And I just thought, wait a minute, but we're in Germany. We don't have that much to do. All the jobs are in the States. I said, no, all those German companies that are international companies, Bosch, Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, Daimler, Mini, BMW, anything with cheese, right? If it's an international company, or sausages, if it's or anything with technical things, if it has anything to do with a German international company, you're going to have the German voiceover artist do the first round, and then you swap sides, do a high five, you go into the booth, and you dubbed the German into English.
English.
And he said, Jonathan, you're the only one that doesn't sound like the big booming movie trailer, Hollywood trailer voice. You have that younger sound, that explainer video sound. And I was like, oh, do I? Okay. Oh, I do sound younger, although I'm 42-year-old gray-haired man. And I just said, okay, let me just invest a little bit of time and energy and money into getting some proper coaching, building a studio, building a booth, as you see here, and taking it from there. And within like lightning fast speed, learning how to communicate. So bringing it back to our topic today, how to communicate like a champ, not doing the mentality of, oh, not taking it seriously, finger in my nose, whatever, you don't need me, to the point of like, how can I help? Where's my position in this market? Oh, you need me for that? Okay, great. And building my brand messaging from there and reaching out to all these people. The internet happens, I'm researching people, I'm sending my demos out, and I'm booking work. I can build my studio, and then all of a sudden, I've stopped dancing 8 shows a week and performing on stage, and then I'm a full-time voiceover artist. Went full-time in 2007, or 2006, 2007. So it was a very sort of journey, not your typical journey into voiceover. I definitely fell into it. I still love it. And now how I got into becoming a personal brand strategist is that friends would like musical theater friends would ask me, so how did you get into voiceover? I'm like, oh, I tell the story. And then they said, but how did you build your website? I'm like, oh, that's easy. How do you do social media? Oh, that's easy. How do you make those graphics? Oh, that's easy. I didn't know that it was not easy for most. It just was something that I was curious about and learned, took a couple online courses and was like, oh, great, okay. And then found my own style. And then I went to design school. And then I did all these different things, and branding and brand messaging and graphic design and all these things. And I thought, oh, can everybody do this? Apparently not. So there's a whole slew of creative people, voiceover artists in the Voiceover Network, and anybody out there that might need help with their brand messaging, might need help with their web design, might need help with their social media output, so they can shine online and share their talent with the world. And that's what I do as a personal brand strategist. I help creative people shine online and share their talent with the world.
That's an incredible journey. I think you'd be probably surprised. It's a lot of voiceover stories. They may have, kind of stumbling into it or finding this way or that way. Mine, I started out as a writer, producer for a production company and got thrown into the booth. Just to do the scratch tracks is what we call it in the States. And they just needed someone. And then you slowly, I just kind of fell in love with it. And just kind of kept it on the side. So it was quite a fun journey there. So that's so wonderful. So that's your background. Also, for anybody who's watching, we normally have these webinars at 5 o'clock UK, and we've switched it tonight to this time frame to just, we're just kind of giving it a different shot, I guess you'd say.
And also because I was teaching a yoga class and I couldn't get out of it. So I'm very grateful for everybody tuning in a little bit later because of me. Thank you.
That's good. Right. So to communicate like a champ.
Yeah.
What are our beginning steps to get us going? And just talking about making those first connections to get yourself noticed
out there in the world. Exactly. So how to communicate with the champ? What are the first steps other than putting on your boxing gloves and getting into the ring? I think if we're using the analogy of, in a boxing ring, what does a boxer need to do to get into the ring for the actual match? They need to practice, right? So that's all it is. And I think there's a lot of people, especially with teaching people how to share their talent with the world, teaching people about their brand messaging, teaching people how to communicate properly. I see a lot of creative people that shy away from communicating properly because they think to book the job, they have to put on a 3-piece suit and be something other than their than what they actually authentically are.
Right.
So let me know in the comments below, because I can't see your gorgeous faces that are watching from home. Let me know in the comments below if you know exactly what to say if you were to meet a top agent at a networking event. Would you know exactly what to say, and how would you feel? Yes or no, you know exactly what to say, and how you would feel in that situation. Let me know in the comments. We have a little bit of something to play with you guys. Who knows? Maybe everybody would be like, "Yeah, I know what to say. I feel amazing. It'd be great." I don't think everybody's gonna feel that way, but you never know.
It's uncomfortable at some, it can be very uncomfortable. You don't know how to break the ice. You get caught up on you stumbling on your own words. You don't know what to, that's the uncomfortable part here. Here, Joe says, no and nervous. 2-part question you had.
So what would you know what to say, and how would you feel? So Lenore says, I'd know what to say and would feel tense, right? So that thing of nervous, tense, and all those different things, right? Especially when we're pitching ourselves or putting ourselves forward, or when I hear it all the time, and it just makes me cringe. Well, if you ever need a voiceover artist, give me a call. Like, like that just. It's like nails awkward. Like, no, build a relationship, right? So there's this new style that I've been trying out for the past 15 years, and I call it new because it's not new to me, but it's very new to most of humanity. Which is, here's a perfect example. I was at VO Atlanta 2 years ago, and Jeff Umberger was there. And I knew who he was, and he knew a little bit about who I was, but as a voiceover artist, but he didn't know about my personal brand strategist thing with helping creative people with their brand messaging and their visual branding. And all I did, it's so simple. It's so simple. All I did was ask him questions. And not like, so, Jeffrey, like, what's it like at work? Like, who are your, I didn't ask him
nothing related to anything of business.
Nothing related to business, right? Mm-hmm. So, and how do you do this, right? You look at the person, and he was having a drink, and I just said, "Oh, hi, Jeff, I'm Jonathan, nice to meet you. What are you drinking?" That's all it was, right? What are you drinking? Whatever they have in their hand, whatever they're eating, whatever they're it's an immediate thing that people can go, oh, that's the jumping point. It's sort of like when you go to IKEA and you just need a teeny tiny little coffee table, but 2 hours later you're white knuckling it behind the rental van from IKEA because you bought a whole new living room, right? You didn't go into IKEA with the idea of getting the living room. You just went into IKEA to get that little coffee table, but you come out of IKEA with a whole new living room. It's the exact same thing. Go into any conversation with a little teeny tiny IKEA trinket or coffee table. So I asked him, "Oh, Jeffrey, what are you drinking? That looks really good. I'm gonna get a drink myself." Right? Mm-hmm. And it was I can't remember. It was Jackie Cola, rum Coke. I think, I'm not sure, a Manhattan, I'm not sure. I'm like, great, I've always wanted to have one, and I'm so excited to have one with you as well. Cheers. So it already opened the floor to talk about anything other than work, right?
They've been talking about it all day, all the time long, right?
Yeah. And that's so refreshing, because if you're at a networking event or a VO Atlanta where everybody's talking about VO, isn't it nice just to talk about something normal, right? Mm-hmm. Or for example, if you didn't see a drink in his hand, "Hey Jeffrey, I am new here to VO Atlanta. I'm actually kind of hungry, or I'm looking for a restaurant to go have dinner with, to go have dinner at this evening." Now you're probably thinking, asking him to dinner. No, if that happens, that would be amazing. And he's probably thinking, "Oh my goodness, is he going to ask me to dinner? Do I have to commit? I don't know this person." If you just say, "Have you eaten at any restaurants that you would recommend?"
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, Wow. Here's the thing, people. People love talking about themselves, even if they're introverted. Introverts will be like, I'm actually introverted. I feel really anxious, and they talk about their feelings, right? Or they might just completely collapse and run and hide. And funnily enough, those people don't think this about me. I am extremely introverted. Big networking events scare me to death. Hard to believe, I know.
Yeah, I don't see that at all, but okay, fine.
At the next event,
Yeah.
because I always have my specific people that I like hold on to and clutch onto.
Uh-huh.
Now that you know, I'll be like, Lisa, stand here and hold your hand for 5 minutes. Like, okay.
Okay. Come on, Jonathan. Oh, no.
So when you're at a networking event and you want to reach out to somebody, but you don't know what to say, ask them the most simple questions, and ask them questions that are non-related to the work that they do, and ask them their take on it, the restaurant that they ate at last time, the drink that they're having, just to get in there, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that you're going to do is you're just going to listen, and you're going to find little things that they're going to talk about that you go, okay, I'm going to remember that for a segue into something else, right? So, for example, he could say, I remember it very clearly. I said, he was talking about himself and what he did. I'm like, oh wow, you live in Atlanta, or your agency is in Atlanta, so this must be a hop, skip, and a jump for you. Although Atlanta is big, the commute probably. So, are you staying in the hotel, or are you commuting back and forth? Like basic questions. And he's like, yeah. He told me a little bit about everything, and I just kept asking him like the basic questions. And then he goes, oh my goodness, enough about me. You're from Germany, so you're staying here apparently. I'm like, yes, I am actually. And if he wasn't going to ask me, I was going to say, oh, how wonderful that you live so close. I actually live in Germany, so I had to get a hotel here. You're so lucky that you have the choice to either stay at home or stay in the hotel, and not go on and on off a tirade of like, oh my goodness, I have jet lag. Just be like, oh, right. You're just looking for the connection, how to communicate like a champ, just going, meeting eye to eye and meeting halfway. Jeffrey Umberger is an amazing agent, but he is nothing without talent. And the talent is nothing without the agent. So it's not, oh my goodness, Jeffrey Umberger, you're amazing. It's, hi, I'm meeting you eye to eye, face to face on the same playing field. So I know a lot of people feel tense, feel nervous, are a little bit, I don't know what to say. When reaching out to people, let's use face to face. It's the most inundating thing. Of course, with an email, crafting an email, or reaching out in the DMs and on Instagram or Facebook Messenger, you have time to think about what to write. But when you're face to face with somebody, you're in that moment. So here's the way that I flipped it, where I just like said, wow, I don't know where this came from. So we were chatting about Atlanta, and then we were chatting about Germany. I get a little bit more longer commute than you do, and then he said, so I hear you do voiceover, but you also do like what's the other thing that you do as a personal brand strategist? I said, and I could have said, well, we create websites. I have online courses to help creative people build their brand, talking about all the stuff that I do, all the things that I am awesome at. I'm tooting my own horn. But that's not cool, right? So I flipped it around. I said, just imagine, Jeffrey, you come into work, and I described the perfect day, the daydream day. You come into work, into the agency, don't really need to lift a finger because everything's just running so smoothly. Your assistant's taking care of all the emails coming in. Clients are happy with the delivery of the sound files from the talent. Talents aren't having diva fits. You go to lunch with a good friend who calls you up, and all the time when they're in the city, but rarely do you have time. But they called you up this time and you said, you know what, I actually do have time to go to lunch this time. So you go to lunch. People are booking things left and right. There's no drama fits at all. Clients are happy. You come back from lunch, do a little bit of emailing. You talk with one of your top clients, and they say, we have a new ad campaign and you've got it. We can't wait to help your business out and help the agency out. You're the perfect agent that we need. You put out a casting, it's cast before 4 o'clock, and you're just like, I'm going to go home and put my feet up at 4 o'clock and take a walk with my dog. Or I think I knew that he had cats. So you go, because I saw it on Facebook. So you go home and you have a nice cuddly afternoon with your cats, and then you have dinner with a friend. And he said, I'm speechless. I'm like, exactly. I'm like, how? He said, so how do you do that? Like, how do you make that my life? And I say, well, actually, that's what I do. I just help people with their brand messaging, with their communication, that they make other people feel amazing. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's all about them. I could have said, oh, I create websites and I help creative people with their things and online courses and and toot my own horn. Or I could say, well, I actually help the creative people, your talent, be able to communicate with you and with the clients with ease, without feeling tense, without feeling nervous, and knowing exactly what to say with their brand messaging, with knowing how to reach out to people professionally and authentically, and feeling genuine and being a good person, wanting to help out. There's nothing worse than having a diva fit of a talent, and the client doesn't know how to speak creative person talk, and there's just a funky communication, which makes the job of the agent so much more difficult than actually having perfect communication between the talent and the client, where the agent just steps back and goes, I love my job. And that's what I help people with. And he was like, oh, that's amazing. I would love to go home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, see? But that's the thing that I teach. That's the thing that I help people with. Now let's flip the switch over to creative people. If you are panicking about what to say, if you are having a difficult time communicating like a champ, let's flip the switch, right? So when you reach out to an agent, let me ask in the chat below, what are some things that you usually in the past have reached out to that you've written to an agent as an email when you're trying to submit to that agency? What are some things that you usually put in that email? Just give me a little breakdown of the bullet points. It doesn't have to be the whole email, but just give me the rough draft of how you would craft that email, for example.
So I can kick it off, I guess, and start so you clearly want to address the right person. That's number one. And then at the beginning, you just want to say hello and make it a little personal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. That was the start.
So we got James saying, remind how we met. Thanks for any advice given. Awesome. Okay. Then what?
Then motivated, your needs are my needs.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
So Jackie, go deeper. What do you mean by that? Motivated, your needs are my needs. Go get hyper specific. What does that mean to you? How would you now I'm saying, I said give me the bullet points, and now I'm saying go deeper. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why I'm saying on this point go deeper. So Jackie, give me some examples of how you would say your needs are my needs. Lenore, generally I always call before and ask if I can send my stuff, then I email and send my stuff. Great. Lenore, what's the order of like the paragraphs, or the order of thoughts that you would put into the
with some sentences.
Sentences.
Good.
I would hope so. More than one, plural, mm-hmm. with some sentences.
Mm-hmm. And you have to think in your head that they're people just like you and me. So you have to,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's easier to approach in that way.
Yeah. So notice that we're all getting into this speed bump of like, oh my goodness, right? Jackie, oh boy, give me a minute. James, highlight future events that I hope to see them, right? You don't want to pitch yourself, but you also don't want to not pitch yourself. So how do we do it, right? This is what it's all about. And this is actually the general breakdown of what I teach in League of List Builders, right? So for example, of course, you want your subject to be, the subject line to be nice. If it's going to be me, I would say male voice talent submission. Or if it's referred to by Lisa, I would say male voice talent submission, Lisa referral, right? Or something like that. Mm-hmm. And the subject line. So when they opened the, getting comfortable again.
Me too.
My yoga Om Namaste, knees up, cross-legged. You want to go step by step by step. It's a psychological trick. Like I don't want to say psychological trick or hack, but that's what I did when speaking with Jeffrey Umberger. I didn't make it about me. I made it all about him, and I found pieces of information that I saw right in front of me and just based it off of that, right? Mm-hmm. So, for example, you're going to start with a subject line, which is voice talent submission, or if you're being referred, the name of the person that's referring you. Because what does that agent see when that pops up into their email list, into the inbox? Is your name and then voice talent submission. Mm-hmm. So already at the subject line, at the to, at the from, and the subject line, you are pigeonholing yourself, and that's a positive thing. You're telling people, this is my name and this is what I want. So the person clicking on the email goes, oh, okay, that's what this person wants, right? Then from there, you have your opening salutation. Dear, first name, last name. And I know, especially if you're in a country where it's totally chilled out and we're totally fine, for the very very first email, and you can always switch on over to the first name only later. But for the very first email, just out of respect, and also out of knowing that you've done the research and you can spell their name correctly, dear first name, last name, comma. It never hurts to be classy. It's never wrong to be overdressed at an event. You can if you're wearing a tuxedo and you're at a beach party, you can take the jacket off, unbutton the bow tie, and open your shirt a little bit. However, if you come to a tuxedo or a black tie event in Speedos, it doesn't work the other way around. So for the very first opening salutation, dear first name, last name, comma, and please triple check that their name is spelled correctly. Right? Nothing more annoying than that. Lenore says, breaking down the way that she does the cover letter, thanks for chatting. Number 2, mentioned I'm a French VO based in London. My training. Number 3, please find my demos. 4, thanks for your consideration, right? Good breakdown. There's something missing. I'll get to it in a second. So we've done dear first name, last name, comma, spelled correctly, triple check that it's all right. The first paragraph, and a lot of people have been saying it, it's like the hey, Jeffrey, what are you drinking, right? It's that, or Lisa referred me to you. I'm so grateful that she put the connection together. I'm so grateful that to be connected with you via Lisa, right? Just giving them places to get that hook, to get that, oh, okay, this is how I'm pigeonholing you. Thanks for chatting, or as we met at the conference, I'm just following up, Mm-hmm. By the way, while I was on your website, I checked out the amazing latest ad campaign for Pepsi. Man, Carly did an amazing job on that. I especially liked the tagline at the end, where she does something a little bit different that not everybody does. Do you see what I did there? I went from, hey, remember me from just following up, to, oh, by the way, I took the extra 2 minutes to go onto your website or onto a Facebook post and see the latest thing that you've done. And not only did I mention what they did, but I said, the one thing that I really liked was this. We get super hyper specific, showing that not only did you partake in consuming their content, mm-hmm. but you got one specific thing that really touched your heart. Now, for some people, this might be a little too touchy-feely, a little too much personality. People might be like, yeah, but I need to stay in my business suit, my 3-piece business suit, don't I? I need to be all business. Well, if you work with hedge funds and on Wall Street and in the financial district, yes. But if you're a creative person, and especially if you're a voice actor, where you're using this, your emotion, your heart to come through your voice, we need to know that you have a pulse. We need to know that you feel. And we need to know that when you see something awesome in somebody else's voice work, and you go, I really like what they did, that you go, that they understand that you respect the work that they do, and you're not competitive and planning their assault. You're actually applauding the talent and applauding the agent for that entire project. Mm-hmm. And the end client as well. Mm-hmm. So get super specific. Moving on to the second paragraph, which everybody's missed out on. Do not use the words me, my, I, us, we, and our. The second paragraph is not about you at all. Right? This is where I go, so Jeffrey, what are you drinking today? Oh, you're from Atlanta. Are you staying here in the hotel, or are you traveling back and forth? Oh, your cats on Facebook are so cute. Don't know her name. Let's pretend her name is Misty. How's Misty doing? Did you hear the word me, my, I, us, we, they, us, we, our? No, it was all about them, all about him, right? So in your second paragraph, or it doesn't have to be a full paragraph, it could just be a couple of sentences, paint that perfect picture that I said before. Just imagine, you wake up, you go into the agency, and everything's running smoothly. There's no drama fits. Oh my goodness. Clients are booking you left and right. So you go to lunch with a good friend. You come back, you've booked a huge gig, an account. The talent's already lined up. Casting's done. Client's happy. So you decide to take an early, go home early, get home by 4 o'clock to take a cat nap with your cats, and then go to dinner with some friends. Perfect day, right? However, that's not always the case. Then you paint the nightmare. Sometimes talents have absolute diva fits. Clients are sending the 20th version of the final script, and you are the person in between playing the biggest juggling act on the world stage called your agency. Not the perfect day anymore, is it? I didn't say one word of me, my, I, our, we, us. I said, this is the perfect day, but this is the reality.
And you used imagine, like these kinds of questions.
Exactly. Questions. How would it feel? Wouldn't it be wonderful if, just imagine you have the perfect day. Mm-hmm. How would it feel if, right? Mm. You put yourself in their shoes. Empathy, which is the hardest thing to do. But once you understand how empathy works, magic happens. Doors open, right? Mm-hmm. Jackie says, do you remember when we had that espresso in Paris? You mentioned you needed X, and I became so motivated to explore that. Because of your brilliant idea, you launched me into a new area, and I'd love to collaborate with you. Awesome, Jackie. So this is a great third paragraph, right? So do you see how you say, do you remember when we had that espresso in Paris? You mentioned you needed X, and I became so motivated to explore that. Well, because of your brilliant idea, you launched me into a new idea, and I'd love to collaborate with you, right? Wonderful, but it's not time yet, right? You need to establish that perfect day to nightmare to be the answer to their solution, the problem to their, the solution to their problem, right? The beacon of light in the coldest storm ever at the sea. You are their lighthouse. You paint the perfect day, take it to a nightmare, and then you come in and say, well, remember that time in Paris that we had an espresso in Paris? That motivated me to reach out to you years ago. That motivated me to reach out to you this very day to say, I want to be a resource to you. I want to get you home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon so you can hang out with your cats. You can take a cat nap with your cat. Right? I want to help you get there. And here's how. Here's my demos. They're downloadable on my website. I've worked with these clients before. I've noticed in your roster that there might be somebody missing with the voice qualities that I have. and I could fill that gap that you have in your roster because you've done the research, right? You're not going to say that you're amazing, that my voice has been, I'm the voice of la la la. You're going to say, I've noticed that there might be room in your roster for vocal qualities that I do offer gladly to my clients. I'd love to be considered. It'd be an honor. Your opinion means the world to me. And that moment in years ago when we were drinking espresso in Paris has finally has motivated me to get me to this moment to send this email out to you. Who does that? Mm-hmm. Most people are like, here's my demos. You'd be stupid not to hire me. Blah, blah, blah. And then they hear nothing back. And then they hit send and they wonder why they're still unemployed, right? It's not about you. It's all about them. Even when you're using the words I, me, my, I'd love to hear your feedback. Your opinion means the world to me. I noticed that there might be a little bit of a loophole in your roster, and I might be able to help you out and fill that gap. You know,
you're helping their problems.
Exactly, you're helping their problems, and that's what your needs are my needs. Jackie said, right? Your needs. You have a need, and you got to fill that hole, and somehow it's probably not being filled. I'd love to be a resource to you when you're ready to meet me halfway. Here's the thing, and you wrap it up on the final paragraph. I'm here for you whenever you're ready. And this is something that nobody does because we want everything so fast, right? Everything's so lightning fast speed. I'm here for you when you're ready to reach out. My contact information is below in my e-signature. I can't wait to meet you face-to-face again or via Skype or Zoom, whatever. I'm here for you whenever you're ready to take the next step. I look forward to hearing from you. And that's it. Versus you send the email and then you hear nothing back. So 2 days later, you send a really pissed off email. Did you get my email? You didn't follow up. What do you think about my demos? Right? No, you have to meet them halfway. It's like to a bridge. You stop halfway and you wait for them to walk the bridge and meet you halfway as well. What were you going to say, Lisa?
There's that sentence that a lot of us, well, you've heard it before, and you know, thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration. Look forward to your response, that kind of a thing, right? No.
No. My heart goes, yes. When somebody says, thank you for your time.
Yes. Okay.
Like, okay, that was on the, I think I scared you. That was on the level of, you know, when you eat something and you're like, this is good.
Yeah.
And then you eat something like, oh. You make the ugly face and people get scared. It's like, no, it's that good. It's like, oh, it's so good.
Okay, it's good.
When you were like, thank you for your time. I mean, guys, talent agents, the bigger the company, the less time they have, right? So when you say thank you for your time, they probably didn't even mean it, but it means the world to me that they're thanking me for the time that I took to read this 3-minute long email because I don't have time, you know, and that person's recognizing it. So yes, you know, wrap it up with thank you so much, or thank you for your time, or your opinion means the world to me, or I look forward to being a resource to you. Right? Wrap it up in a way that is memorable. I always end my emails in gratitude. I love talking about gratitude. Like it's the currency. Kindness and gratitude are currency, you know, and the more gratitude you give, the more wonderful good vibes you get back. You know, you hold the door for somebody because you're going to help them out. But when that person goes by and they say thank you, like I'm being selfish. Like I just got a huge rush of happy hormones through my body. Like, oh, I helped somebody. I feel good. Like it's a natural thing that happens in our bodies when we help somebody. Or when we say thank you to somebody, we have an exchange of happy hormones that rushes through our brains and our bodies. Like, why am I such a positive, happy-go-lucky guy? I use gratitude as my currency to deal with people. And I love life. Like, I'm naturally high, you know. So we can talk about that later. There's actually studies about gratitude and how it makes you feel good. I won't
open you up.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about talk about like let's meditate and start talking about that.
That's
But
on the next one.
exactly, that's the next webinar.
And that's at 10 p.m.
Yeah, that's at 10 p.m.
Oh, oh, Jackie. Yes, we Canadians tend to be too polite. I guess we can still use it judiciously.
Exactly. There's nothing. I mean, of course, if you're lathering on the kindness, then it can be a little bit too polite. But you know, if you're wondering, should I put this nice thing in there? Yes. Like, please say thank you for your time, or thank them for their consideration.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, you know, and not too many people do that.
Yeah, and I think that here in the UK, there's a lot of several UK watchers now. You know, that's this kind of a approach is different, but works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at Chris Tester. Look at Ali Tasker, Ali Murphy, Bav Pamar. These students of mine have taken on this new way of brand messaging in the UK, because you know I am based originally from America, and a lot of UK people go, well, that's a very American approach. You know, that's a little bit too forward for me. But they've taken it on and they've made it work for them. They've changed the templates that I give them, and they go, okay, I'm using the structure and strategy that Jonathan's teaching me, but I'm making it work for me in my own wording. And look at them thriving.
Yeah. Look
at that. Look at their careers going through the roof. And I'm not saying because of the way that I teach them, but all three of them are UK talent that had the exact same issues. Like, this isn't really the way that we do it in the UK. I'm like, trust me, just write it out. You don't have to send it yet. You can have like lots of different drafts and second draft and final draft and all that. But just write out the structure, write out the strategy, write it out, and see how it feels to you. And then change those words that don't vibe with you. Mm-hmm. Make those, speak it out loud, read it out loud, and be like, you know, I would never say that, but I would say, and you're going to change it anyway, because like, no, that doesn't feel right. I would usually say this. Well, say that, write that, and flip that switch, and make that work for you. And
put in the work. You got to put in the work for it.
Oh yeah, like I don't know if Lisa, you've seen it, or the VO Network. If you've seen Tough Tilley come out. Yeah, Tough Tilley's coming out at times.
Okay.
Where I when I hear people go like, yeah, but like it's like that's a lot of work. Like oh my goodness, this is hard.
Yeah, this is some work.
This is like I gotta write stuff, and I'm like, then don't change. Stay exactly where you are, miserable, not booking as much work as you are, and wondering why you're not getting the gigs. Mm-hmm. Well, other people who are putting the work are getting the work back. Yeah. Do you want everything served on a silver platter? Great. That's not how the world works, right? So and then I'm like, but it's just my opinion, and you know, there's 7 billion people in the world, but if you're not doing the work, you know, it's your own damn fault. You know, I mean. And the hard workers are the ones that get the work. We all love the Oscars. We all love the red carpet ceremonies. Oh my goodness, I love it. That's 1% of all the work they do. The rest is hard work.
Hard work.
And red carpet is the only thing that's really photographed and commercialized and publicized. You don't see all those amazing actors working their buns off to get where they are, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have zero empathy anymore or compassion for anyone's like, yeah, I don't want to do it. I'm like, well, then don't change.
Then it's not gonna. Yeah, this isn't the strategy or the plan for you. So what to say, when to say it, and who to say it to.
Who to say it to. No, what to say, when to say it, and who to say it.
There we go. I love it. Yeah, no, I was just trying to think about tying all of that in and to make all of this work for you. Great. So, guys, any questions? We've got just a little bit more time left here. So just want to.
Now's the time to ask. I'm here.
Yeah.
And this email formula that I teach in League of List Builders is it's not just for emails. It's also, you can pull bits and pieces from it and use it for your about page. Use it for when you're meeting somebody new at a cocktail networking event, like with Jeffrey Umberger, or when you are the only person in the room that doesn't know anybody, and how to be in that room and be like, okay, let's meet new people.
Yeah.
Just instead of trying to be like, hi, this is me, be like, hi, this is me. What are you drinking? Like, hi, this is me. Oh, do you know the host? Hi, this is me. Is this your first time at this event? Right? Flip it on over to them, because people love talking about themselves. And from there, you can pick and choose and be like, oh, by the way, this is my first time at the event too. I came from down the road. Oh, where are you from? Right? The art
and getting to know people. That's what you're doing. You're getting to know people just in a different way, and trying to approach the people that you think, you can't approach, or you're too scared to approach them. Just go for it.
Because we're locked behind our computer screens, and we're comfortable there. And that's where a lot of the work is as voiceover artists. The emails come in, we do the jobs in our booth. It's isolating. It's beautifully isolating, because you have the quietness to do the work. But there are times when we need to go out into the world and share our talent with the world, and knowing what to say and who to say it to is what it's all about. Otherwise, you're just standing there like a wallflower and don't get the most out of the opportunity of being in the room with everybody else. And here's the last thing that I want to say, especially for a networking event, especially for when you're in a group of people. Everyone is petrified of not knowing what to say and not being. Like I said to you, Lisa, I'm like, Lisa, I'm going to pull you over and be like, I need 5 minutes. Everyone feels that way. Everyone, right? And if they, at least for 5 minutes at that conference or at that event, right? So if everybody's feeling the same way, that pressure of like, I don't know what to say, if that just takes the pressure off of you. It's like, okay, I think I'm feeling a little bit insecure, but I think there are other people in this room feeling as insecure, if not more so. So how can I make that person feel a little bit less insecure, right? And go up to, and you can see the insecure people and be like, hey, how you doing? I saw you standing over here. What's your name? Right? Help that person out,
Yeah. Sometimes that's all it takes. Just say hello.
Or perfect example. At the very first Above and Beyond that I went to, Jake Wardle, who's in Twin Peaks, like perfect example, right? I did my presentation, and I was meeting everybody afterwards, and there was this kid, like twiddling his thumbs, like playing with his fingers, like shuffling his feet. And I'm sensing this kid is like waiting to talk to me at the end, shy and not making eye contact. And I was just like, and then he finally came up to me like, hey buddy, like, what's your name? What are you about? Thanks for being here. And it's Jake freaking Wardle, who's in Twin Peaks. I was just like, and I met him and I was like, dude, you're amazing. So of course, through that event, I'm like, I'm doing your website. Like, come on. I flew him over to Germany. We did a photo shoot. Like, I was like, you're amazing, right? So you never know who you're gonna bump into, especially if they're maybe a little bit introverted and insecure at a networking event.
Yeah, and it's in everyone. Everyone's like
it's
that.
In everyone.
Right. So Adam here says, something I read today is to make the intro and in a blunt term. Okay, hold on. Let's read that again. Something I read today is to make the intro and in a blunt term. So tell me about yourself. I imagine you're a talk show host. They are your guests.
Yeah, smart. At a networking event. I love watching The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. And, you know, he brings the guest on stage, they sit down, they have a little chit chat, and then he goes, so tell me about da-da-da-da-da, right? Fantastic, right? It makes them go, oh, well, yes, fantastic. You know, you can, if it's at a networking event, you can say, so tell me, is this your first time here? So tell me, do you live close? Did you have to travel here? Where'd you fly in from? Where'd you drive in from?
A question's always good.
Yeah.
That gets the conversation going. James Cooper, would you say that at networking events like VO Atlanta, it's okay to, for lack of a better term, peacock your style if it fits within your brand? For example, I always can find Ellie Ray in a crowd because her eclectic, carefree style sets her apart from everyone else.
So would I say that at a networking event like VO Atlanta, it's okay to peacock your style?
If it fits within your brand.
What do you mean, like show your style? Is that what you mean, peacock your style? I've never heard that. That's beautiful. I want to know what that is.
I know. I am guessing the same. Like it's just, you know, put yourself.
Show who you are.
Show who you are.
And if that's the question, James, if it's okay James says, yes, I have another friend who does VO and she has purple hair. Okay, yeah. So here's the thing. Personal branding is just basically you giving yourself permission to be you. The quote that I'm quoting right now, I'm misquoting it, it's not fantastic, but I think everybody will know what I mean, is for somebody to lie, you have to have such a good memory to lie, because you constantly have to be like, oh, I lied to that person about this, so I have to continue lying about, right? So it takes so much more work and memory to lie. It's so much easier to be yourself, right? It's so much easier to tell the truth and to tell your inner truth, which is your genuine self, right? So it's personal branding is just giving yourself permission to be yourself, and to forget about the lie of I feel like I have to put on a 3-piece suit to do business. That's a lie, right? You are your business. You are your brand, right? So allowing yourself to peacock, as you say, to allow yourself to really let your freak flag fly, awesome. However, there's a difference between, and I love Ellie Ray, like you know where Ellie Ray is because she's dancing in a corner with her friends. Like she's awesome. Yeah. And she's doing it in a way that it's bringing people together. It's elevating the entire energy of the room or the energy of the people around her, right? Yeah. Awesome, right? However, there are people, just imagine Ellie Ray, like she's the sweetest woman ever and super talented. Now imagine her going so to the extreme that she sets the hotel on fire, purposefully. That's a little bit too much, right? Or what if she's spinning so much that she's hitting people and like you're in my way, I'm doing my spins, right? You should be away from here. I'm doing my spins, right? So it's in the intention of your peacocking, the intention of you being genuine to yourself. Is your intention of your peacocking. I love how we're making this word a verb now. Is your intention of the peacocking to lift people up, to build community, or is it to show off, right? Purple hair, you have a friend that has purple hair. Awesome, right? This person has purple hair. That's amazing. Is that person forcing other people to dye their hair purple too? Might not be the best intention. But if this person that has purple hair is just standing there in her purple hairedness and saying, hi, how are you? Being her authentic self and helping to elevate the group, awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Being true to yourself. That's it. Authentic. Let's see. Jackie says, the more talented a lot of people are, the more nervous or shy they tend to be and less drawn out. She also says, I am disabled and an opera singer, so I sometimes show up in a wheelchair dressed like Valkyria. And I find a good moment to sing. Now, I'm not a singer. And break the ice. I guess that's peacocking? Question mark?
That's super cool. So she's using herself. She's using her situation to, I love how she's dressing up. That's
Yeah.
fantastic, you know? So it totally fits, you know, like Lisa, you know, I love a good dress up. I think
Yes.
I was at the last conference, I dressed up as a doctor.
That's
You know,
right.
I think everybody loves a good costume, right? As long as it's in good taste and that there's a theme and that it makes sense.
And
Jack,
it's
I love this. This is beautiful, you know,
mm-hmm.
fantastic.
Yeah. Definite icebreaker.
Yeah.
Definite. Adam says, on the flip side, how do you deal with the person you introduce yourself that has the cold shoulder? They are having a bad day and you get the worst intro ever. Approach them later or make note and move on?
I don't move on. Like, you know, I have a dog. His name's Dexter, and I learned a lot from my dog, which is sometimes a dog will just, you know, play with other dogs and get along great. Like at a networking event, you meet new people and you get along great. They have a little play, jumping around and roll and jump and fun and stuff like that. Play with a ball and great, awesome. That's the ideal situation. Sometimes dogs, my dog will you know start barking at another dog, or the other dog will start barking at him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes happens. You know, as in real life. Those are the people that you don't want to be around. You know, and then there are dogs that just Dexter is just cold shoulder, like just ignoring the other dog, where I just go, okay, there's just doesn't like get onto his radar, you know. Or there's dogs that he wants to get to know, and the other dog is just like, meh, cold shoulder, like I'm not really into you, thanks, you know. And I just go, Dexter's not, if he's wanting to play with the other dog, Dexter's not sad that you know the dog gave him the cold shoulder. He's like, all right, cool, okay, I'll just move on to you know doing my thing, you know. So of course, you know, it would be ideal if we had found play dates and playmates all over in a conference. Yes, there will be some people that just don't vibe with you, but you know, they don't vibe with you, they don't vibe with you, you know. Why would you want to lower your vibration to hang out with them, to feel a part of, you know, their crew when you don't vibe with them, when you're totally different vibrations, you know? So,
Jackie says, dog park, what a great analogy.
yeah.
Joe, Ash says, goodbye. I guess we've run over a little bit.
Yes, we did. Good night.
Yes.
Lovely that you're here.
We always run over a little bit. Excellent. Yes. So, all right, guys. Well, yes. So, gosh, that's just like flown by this hour. Gone.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope that everybody watching at home could learn a little bit more about how to. I'm going to do it. Finally, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How to communicate like a champ.
A little louder. Oh. Okay.
Awkward. That little louder.
Yay! Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Or we just moved, so
the match is over.
The match is over. I also have my wind chimes on a coat hanger.
That's it. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, communicate like a champ. Thanks, Jonathan, so much. Adam says, will we see Jonathan at Get Your Game On? Not Get Your Game On.
But.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen for the rest of the year? Who knows? Right. Oh, Jonathan, it's always such a pleasure, and you share so much. And I think everyone can just latch on to all of this and really take a lot from tonight. So wherever you're watching in from. And so let's see. So League of List Builders. It's too late for me tonight. You are just starting that next week, right?
League of List Builders, the course runs from 1st to May 12th. And early bird special is still open until this Sunday at 11:59 p.m.
Okay.
And we offer the course once a year. We're not going to offer the course again to the public until 2022. We will be doing it once a year, every year, but with the alums, the people that have already bought the course as well, because they have lifetime access. So if you enjoyed watching this this fun Communicate Like a Champ, I want to do it again. If you enjoyed how to communicate like a champ, and like I said in the cover letter formula of making it about them first and then transferring it over to you, that's what I talk about in my online course, League of List Builders, plus all the other brand messaging that needs to be done for your brand and for your voiceover business. Come on over to leagueoflistbuilders.com. I'll put it into the chat. Come on over to leagueoflistbuilders.com to learn more about the course, see some different people. We have live classes going on the next couple of days where I'm giving people a test drive of the course. We even have a quiz to see if League of List Builders is right for you or not. It's all find-outable. It's all there on the webpage, League of List Builders. You just go into the menu. You can click on quiz. You can click on testimonials. You can click on the live classes. We are here for you to teach you how to know exactly what to say, when to say it, and who to say it to.
And knock them out.
And knock them out. Ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding, ding. Knock them out. Oh, excellent. All right. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks again. Thank you so much. And thanks, everyone, for watching the Voiceover Hour. Stay tuned for more coming up. And, we will see you again on the next one.
Thanks
All right.
everybody for coming.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Okay.